Now that's a fucking title, isn't it? Let's talk about this for a minute. Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about the advertising of content, and more specifically, the advertising of content that is specifically aimed at children.
Okay, Teller Morose, a ton of people have already talked about kids' content on YouTube, and YouTube has gone through a lot of progress and changes to ensure that kids' content on YouTube doesn't heavily involve advertising to children on YouTube, so what's the deal?
Okay, first it's pronounced Morose, not Morris, but A for effort, I suppose. And second, I'm actually not talking about YouTube in this YouTube video. I'm talking about the hellish landscape that is the world of Snapchat Discover. Yeah, we're doing another Snapchat Discover video. I did a previous episode of this somewhere on this channel. You can go find it wherever. I figured this was bothersome enough for me to do a part 2. It's just soda, don't worry about it. Let's get into the video. So if you don't know what Snapchat Discover is, it's essentially just a cesspool of advertisements from content creators that will hopefully get you interested in their YouTube channel or whatever they're doing. And they make a neat little penny off of it too by having ads in some of the videos that you cannot skip. These Discover posts, I guess you call them posts, they're usually mind-numbingly stupid, and their titles are proof enough of that. It's the most obvious clickbaiting shit that you can find on any app, as far as I know. Yes, I did this in the last video, but I just have to prove how stupid this shit can be sometimes. So here's a collection of things that I've found over quite some time that I screen captured so that I can lampoon them right now. Here's one by Life by the Horns, and the title is, "You do not want to get run over by a bull like this." I don't want to get run over by a bull at all. That's stupid. Here's one from Wave TV, and it says, "Haters will say it's fake," followed by a very muscular man with the woman filter. Yes, it's fake. It's a filter. That's kind of it's fake. Preface for that one: it is actually about a guy who's like lifting a lot of weight, and people might say that that's fake, but based on the picture here, it's making it look like the filter is what's fake. And trust me, it is. It's a filter. This one is by Love Don't Judge, and it says, "I'm 28, he's 58, and we're getting married today." This one's not like clickbaity bullshit, it's just kind of like dumb. Like, yes, people get married with an age difference, and I don't think that's such a big deal. Or at least not big enough of a deal to make a Snapchat Discover piece about it. I don't want to sound like I'm downplaying your marriage and congratulations or whatever, but people get married with an age gap pretty often. It's not like a super crazy thing. Sorry, I don't know if that's mean. I'll move on. And here's the last one just to prove my point. It's from Elite Daily, and the title says, "Did Jordan just shout out Kylie on her IG?" Sure. Does it matter? It's two Instagram influencers. Maybe they talk to each other. Maybe they hung out once. Like, it's not... You see my point. But the issue that I really want to talk about, yes dude, get to the point, is a weird type of advertising that involves being over the age of 18. I see these posts in Snapchat Discover all the time. It's like, if you're over 18, you'll love this game, or you must be 18 plus to play this scary Among Us mode, which is just the fucking best, actually. And the reason why advertisers are doing this is because 18, of course, is the age at which you are legally allowed to buy No, the real reason why advertisers are doing this is because 18, of course, is the age at which you are legally allowed to buy that certain type of content that you don't pay for because it's all over the internet for free. Seriously, why would you pay for it? Also, if you don't get what I'm saying, maybe just go watch. It's pornography, okay? It's fucking porn. I don't need the last word. It's fucking. Now, the obvious question definitely isn't, well, is the content for people over the age of 18? Because it's a stupid question. Of course it's not, you big dummy dumb. It's just someone playing some new form of Among Us, or it's fucking Raid Shadow Legends, because yes, on 2 separate occasions I have documented them using this tactic to advertise on Snapchat. So much for getting a sponsorship from those guys. The problem that comes from this type of advertising is that nobody over the age of 18 is looking at these Snapchat Discover things and thinking to themselves, well, I'm over the age of 18 and I definitely want to look into this new Among Us game mode or Raid Shadow Legends. But these advertisements are for kids. Like I said, nobody over the age of 18 is stupid enough to think that there's some graphic or sexual stuff happening in these posts. And hell, even ads for dating apps on Snapchat Discover don't say that they're 18 plus because no shit they are. So what's really happening, from what I can tell, is that these advertisements want kids interested in their bullshit, because when a kid sees 18 plus or whatever on an app that is free for all ages, they think they're going to see something that they probably shouldn't be seeing. And sure, maybe this works. And if the posts aren't actually graphic or sexual in any way, then there's not really a downside to it. But does it work? Personally, I know that as a relatively mature adult, or maybe a mature, relatively adult, I don't know, I wouldn't have any interest in these posts. You know, if I want to see something like what they're advertising, I'll go and search for it because fuck you, I'm a human being and I have needs. It's so awkward to say to a camera that I know people are going to watch this YouTube video. Out of curiosity, I wanted to look into the validity of using this type of advertisement to see if a company's sales maybe increased after posting something like this. But I think I did something wrong, because after a couple hours of searching on Google, my feed on every social media outlet is, well, it's actually 18 plus. So I think I fucked up somewhere. And I'm sure there's an advertiser who's used this tactic to advertise, and they're thinking to themselves, well, why would I listen to some Skrillex wannabe with his skirt and painted nails and half of his head shaved? And I get that, but it's just weird. And sure, the psychology of it probably stands, and we all know the adage of like sex sells or whatever, but this is just kind of wrong. It's baiting what I have to assume is kids into looking into a post with the hope of seeing something sexual or graphic for the sole sake of making some ad revenue. And personally, I don't think I would have fallen for this tactic more than once, even at age like 10 or 12. So what are these advertisers hoping to get out of looking stupid to people who don't fall for their tactic and looking like liars to people who do fall for it? There's no resolution to this video, and I apologize for that. I just found it to be irritating enough to rant about on here. But with that being said, let's look at a few more of these Discover posts and just kind of laugh for a bit. Here's one from Vulture that says, why TikTok is dancing to this song 2 years later, probably because people didn't find it until now. That kind of happens sometimes, you know? Here's one from Exploring Esports called He Won $1 Million Playing Fortnite. That's called esports. Here's one from Sarcasm Therapy titled, Do you do this when you're home alone? The answer is probably, but we're not going to talk about it, most likely. Also, how do you expect us to respond? You're a Snapchat Discover post. Here's one from Wild Hearts brought to you by the Dodo, and is that a dick? He chokes his enemies with his slime. I think that's a dick. Here's one from Bench Mob with the title, Wanna Destroy Your Abs? No, my abs are in pleasant need of not being destroyed. They're good where they're at. I don't want them to die or be destroyed. I don't know what this means. Here's one from Zimbio titled, She Looked Totally Different 10 Years Ago. Yeah, that's kind of how aging works. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video or whatever. Give it a thumb and maybe subscribe if you liked this and want to see more stuff from Tier List Tuesdays. We have a normal show that comes out on the last Tuesday of every month. It's kind of like a podcast, kind of like a tier list thing. We really enjoy making it, and we really hope you guys enjoy watching it. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Tuesday. And I'm sure there's an advertiser out there who's used this tactic and they're thinking to themselves, well, why would I listen to some Skrillex wannabe with his skirt and painted nails? That's such a good roast for myself.